Hello students, today we'll start our fifth chapter, Indigo, written by Louise Fisher. In this lecture, first of all, we'll discuss about the summary, message and theme of the story. Now let us discuss summary, what is there in the story. The writer Louise Fisher met Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram. Gandhi told him that how he urged the departure of the British from India. He recalled that it was in 1917 at the request of Raj Kumar Shukla. Raj Kumar Shukla, he was a poor sharecropper from Champaran. So, at the request of Raj Kumar Shukla, Gandhi visited Champaran. Gandhiji had gone to Lucknow to attend the annual meeting of the National Congress in the year 1916. Raj Kumar Shukla met him and told him that he had come from Champaran to seek his help in order to safeguard the interests of the indigo sharecroppers. Gandhiji told him that he was busy as he had appointments in different parts of India. So Shukla accompanied him to various places till he agreed to visit Champaran. His firm decision impressed Gandhiji, and finally he promised him that he would visit Calcutta at a particular date. Shukla could come and take him along to Champaran. Rajkumar Shukla met him at Calcutta and they took a train to Patna. And from there, they went to Dr. Rajendra Prasad's house. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he was the first president of Congress party as well as the first president of Free India. So, Rajkumar Shukla and Mahatma Gandhi, they went to his house and they waited for him. Rajkumar Shukla was with Gandhiji, so the servants of Rajendra Prasad, they treated Gandhiji as a poor man and allowed them to sit on the ground. In order to grab complete knowledge of the situation, he reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1970. He was welcomed by Professor J.B. Kriplani and his students at the railway station. And Gandhiji was surprised to see the immense support for an advocate of home rule like him. He also met some lawyers who were already handling the cases of sharecroppers in the court. As per the contract, 15% of the peasants' land holding was to reserved for cultivation of indigo, the chief commercial crop at that time. And they had to surrender the entire crop to the British landlords as rent. This system was very oppressive. The sharecroppers were completely fed up of that settlement. Gandhiji wanted to help the sharecroppers, so he visited the British landlord commissioner of Trihat division, who threatened him and asked him to leave Trihar division immediately. Instead of returning, Gandhiji went to Motihari. Here he started gathering complete information about the Indigo contract. Beta, as you know, Gandhiji fought for the Indian people at the time of Britishers. So he did not leave Trihar division at the time. He started gathering more and more information about Indigo, and he was also accompanied by many lawyers. One day, as he was on his way to meet a peasant who was ill-treated by the British planters, he was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger, who served him a notice asking him to leave Champaran. Gandhiji received that notice but disobeyed the order. A case was filed against him. He had to appear in the court for disobeying the legal notice. Many lawyers came to advise him, but he was stressed. They all joined his struggle and even agreed to go to jail in order to help the poor peasants. When he appeared in the court, many peasants came there to support him, and to see a large crowd in the law court, the British authorities got tensed. And the judge released Gandhiji without bail. What happened? That on the day of the trial, a large crowd gathered near the court, and it became impossible for the British authorities to handle them. They requested Gandhiji to regulate the crowd. Gandhiji helped the officers to control them, and he also gave a statement that he was not a lawbreaker, but he disobeyed the legal notice so that he could help the peasants. See, he came there to help indigo sharecroppers, and British authorities compelled them to leave Champaran. If he did so, he could not help the sharecroppers, so he denied that legal order. So that is the reason he said that he, by disobeying that notice, he was not setting an example as a lawbreaker, but actually he was doing the duty of his conscience. He wanted to help the peasants of Champaran. He was granted bail, and later on the case against him was dropped. It was a victory of Gandhiji. At that time, he realized that for the first time, the civil disobedience won in Champaran. Gandhiji and his associates started gathering all sorts of information related to the Indigo contract and its misuse. Later, a commission was set up to look into the matter. After the inquiry was conducted, the planters were found guilty and were asked to pay back to the peasants. The planters thought that Gandhiji asked for 100% of the compensation, but Gandhi asked for 50%. But they offered to pay only 25% of the amount. Gandhiji accepted this too because he wanted to free the sharecroppers from the binding of the indigo contract. He said that money was not important. It was the first time the British landlords became agree to give something. By returning that money, actually they were, what do you say, that the first time they surrender something to the Indian sharecroppers with their prestige. So Gandhi agreed with 25% of the refund. In this way, sharecropping disappeared from Champaran. After that, Gandhiji worked for social and cultural upliftment of the people of Champaran. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages and he wanted to do something immediately. He asked for help. Many people from different parts of India came there to help Gandhiji. He opened 6 schools in Champaran villages and volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh and his son Devadas also came there along with his wife, Gandhiji's wife Kasturbai. Gandhiji's wife used to teach the women of Champaran about personal hygiene. Later on, with the help of a volunteer doctor, he provided medical facility to the natives of Champaran, thus making their life a bit better. Andrew Shearer, a pacifist, he wanted to volunteer at Champaran Ashram. Andrew Shearer, Charles Shearer Andrews, he was devoted follower of Gandhiji and he wanted to help him at Champaran Ashram. Other lawyers also wanted to help, wanted to take his help, but Gandhiji refused as he wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self-reliance so that they would not depend on others. Gandhiji said that if they took help of Charles Shearer Andrews, who was an Englishman, it would show the weakness of their hearts. So he did not see any help in Charles Shearer Andrews. Gandhiji told the writer that it was the Champaran incident that made him think that he did not need the Britishers' advice while he was in his own country. So, in this way, we come to know that how Gandhiji visited Champaran at the request of Raj Kumar Shukla, who was a poor peasant. He When Champaran, he fought against British landlords, and finally he released the sharecroppers from 15% of indigo settlement. So, students, after knowing the summary, what message do we get from this lesson? Actually, this story, Indigo, highlights the unequal economic system that existed during the time of Britishers. It resulted in Indian peasants suffering, while the British planters exploited them. It also highlights the importance of Gandhiji's decision to take up their case, which exposed the unjust system. Students, the main theme of the chapter Indigo is how effective leadership can overcome any problem, as shown by Mahatma Gandhi in securing justice for the indigo sharecroppers of Champaran through convincing arguments and negotiation. It means if true leadership is there, if someone is there to guide the people in positive manner, then nothing is impossible in this world. So, in this chapter, we will learn about the unequal battle between the oppressed and the oppressors. The truthfulness, sincerity, and untiring efforts of Mahatma Gandhi and other Indian leaders helped the sharecroppers to come out from that miserable condition. After that, they learned to be self-reliant. They got courage to raise voice against injustice, against British landlords. So, in today's lecture, we discuss about the summary of the lesson Indigo, message and theme run in the chapter. So, in our next lecture, we'll start the story, the text,